ask, and some of the presenters might be answering those as well. So with that, we're going to ask Christine Serwe with the Durango Area Association of Realtors, one of our agent issue sponsors, to get ready to present, and we'll find out what's going on in the area of real estate. So Christine, you are up. Thank you for being here. Oh, unmute.
Okay, here I am. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to see my video is finally working because it wasn't before. I'm just going to share screen real quick if you'll just bear with me. All right, I just have one slide because we have so much in the way of data for the Association of Realtors and all the real estate stuff that we have. So I'll share that here in just a moment, and it's just one, so you don't need to worry about following along. It's how to obtain information from our website, durangorealtor.com. So my name's Christine Serwe, also known as Chris, and I am the board president of the Durango Area Association of Realtors this year. DAAR has over 400 members, real estate brokers, and our affiliates, home inspectors, mortgage lenders, appraisers, all of our real estate folks. So we appreciate the time to tell you what's going on in our world, which is, of course, different than it's ever been, just like everyone else. So I want to start off by just talking about the market. Everybody wants to know, how's the market? And that's true whether we're in COVID-19 times or not. Everybody wants to know. We're coming off of a very strong first quarter before everything really changed and we had to shut down and stop showing property. So because of that very strong first quarter, it's going to take some time for us to predict the impacts or to see the impacts of COVID in our local real estate sales. It takes typically 45 to 60 days from the time someone goes under contract to purchase a property till they actually close. So the last couple months, even though we've been dealing with this pandemic, we've been having closings driven by that strong first quarter, which was very much driven by low interest rates. And that continues to be the case. Also, the fact that we had a milder winter this year meant that our winter season going into spring was a lot busier than a year ago because of the difference in the snow. But we know we're going to see an effect. We know our market's down. You can't not have it down when you're not showing property. We are now showing property again with some pretty stringent protocols, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But the April numbers were down about 15% from April a year ago. But again, comparing to 1 year is a little tricky, 1 month of a year ago. And our median prices a year ago were up about 5%. And it's just too soon to say what kind of price effect we might have on real estate here. But what I would like to stress is that we're feeling that the market is better than we would have expected in these times. We have a lot of locals who are upgrading their home, upsizing, downsizing. So we're seeing most of our activity with locals, not totally, but that's happening. We're early in the selling season, so just the natural sort of spring and summer season is really just getting started for us. We're still seeing a lot of new contracts. I'd like to emphasize people are still buying real estate. It may not be in the numbers that we had pre-COVID, but there's a lot of good activity going on. In fact, we are seeing multiple offers on certain properties. I can say for myself that I have clients that have missed out on 2 houses recently in the last couple of weeks that had multiple offers. So it's not all doom and gloom. There's always going to be more activity in the more, quote, affordable or attainable price ranges under 500,000. The higher you get up in price, certainly the number of people looking does decrease a bit. But we are seeing a lot of activity, and we're grateful for the activity that we're having. Some buyers are waiting to look because they don't want to have to put on a mask and gloves and go through what it takes to see a property right now. But we do feel that the people that are looking are very serious buyers. We have very strict protocols that we have been working on to ensure the safety of the residents of the homes we do go into. We're very cognizant of that. We are keeping showing logs, who we're with, when. We're not touching light switches. We're having all the light switches on, the blinds up. We're sanitizing everything. We're very, very conscious of the safety of the people that we're working with. So I hope it's working. I think it's working. We now have new seller and buyer advisory forms and contract addendums specific to COVID. So we're dealing with that from a contractual standpoint as well. I spoke with one of our very active local brokers yesterday who is receiving inquiries on commercial real estate downtown, which I thought was very interesting. Several retailers from more urban areas who are looking for opportunities in towns like Durango. So I thought that was very interesting to share. Regarding real estate closings, we're doing drive-up closings or parking lot closings where people can stay in their cars, sign their paperwork. We have safe ways to get them the paperwork and get it back. Notaries are looking at, we're still not to a place where we're doing electronic notarizations, but there's lots of discussion and things that they're trying to change about that. So we've been very busy with that. And then I just wanted to touch on all of the advocacy work that the Durango Association of Realtors is doing in tandem with the Colorado Association of Realtors and our national organization. We are continuing to have very active roles with in the governor's office in the state, lobbying for real estate and private property ownership rules, and just we're an active part of those discussions that are happening. And then locally, of course, we were very busy with the efforts to not endorse a planning moratorium for 6 months. We know it was very well intended, but we felt the ramifications would be detrimental in a time that we need to support our local jobs as much as possible. And then, of course, with the election season coming up, our legislative group is very busy right now with that. Many of you may not know this, but we actually have a coalition that's been in place for a few years where we are trying to stay on top of what's happening within the local governmental level. And so our coalition is called the LAC, the Legislative Advocacy Coalition. The founding members of that, of course, are the Durango Chamber of Commerce, the Durango Area Association of Realtors, the La Plata Energy Council, and the Home Builders Association, who unfortunately recently had to step back from financially supporting that group. But our representative Joan is very active in attending all these meetings and reporting back to us what's going on. And we feel that that's a really important role that we can play in getting that information to our members and also being an active part of what's happening in that realm. A couple more things, and then I think I'm going to let you go. I wanted to mention realtors are more than ever working on how our business is changing, just like everyone else is. We're using video more, lots of virtual and visual tours. You know, there's just a whole plethora of information that we're sharing with our clients as we do real estate differently now. We're not going to be doing open houses in the near future. So I would say that our members are more than happy to answer any of your questions. If you know someone that's your realtor and you want to check with them, please do. But we're always here to help and to share with you what we know and what we can you know, inform you about as these things are changing so fast. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention mention internet connection. We're seeing a lot more inquiries these days from the East Coast, from California, as you can imagine, places where people might want to consider moving to somewhere that feels more safe and more where they can have a little more control on their lives. And as we're seeing that, we know that more and more people are going to be working from home. And we still have some areas that are limited for internet access. And so, you know, we'd like to be a part of those discussions or of helping with that. But that is definitely, I think, an important part of what we can do to, you know, have people come here that are able to work from home and still enjoy our wonderful lifestyle. So I'm looking for my slide and it just didn't happen. So thank you guys. Just remember to visit our website. We have all kinds of information there available, DurangoRealtor.com.
Chris, thank you so much, and it's great to see that you guys are able to show homes and that the real estate business is active and just following great protocol. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll have more to share after the second quarter.
Awesome. Real quick, there's a couple questions that have popped up in the Q&A. And